Okay, so this is the Williams fractal. Comes with the platform. Bill Williams is a guy that did a real objective view at the market and just said, well, where does it turn after 5 bars? If you have a spiky bar, then you have a turning point, a pivot in a swing sense, not a pivot in a doji sense, but a pivot in a swing sense. I mean, from the standpoint of this little doohickey. So you have a mountaintop. As soon as the market pulls back, not on closing prices, but Williams is looking at the wick. The wick is the little auction, micro auction that takes you to the attempt to take out this. It does not happen. So if you started off, this is the beginning of the day. This is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the typical trading that I think is the most profitable is to go against the trend, to build a position against the trend, to become a giant swing trader from hell. But it's baby steps, so if you, and this would be a lot of work. This is a 15-minute chart of the euro dollar. This is Friday. So here's a big beatdown for the most part. I'm just going to go through this beatdown. This is fast, quick, dirty. Takes out this fractal. It's like, bye-bye. No, now certainly for the guy that's going to trade super goober style, he's just going to say, well, I'm just going to fucking, I think they're going to fill this void, so I'm really afraid that it's not going to work out. So I'm just going to put sell stops here, which is actually better than the guy that I've been mentioned in my last video that I never published. Is the guy's getting in here. When it closes below here, he gets in. Oh, it closes below this fractal, I'm getting in. Then it's really going down. And it turns out he's right for at least another measured move from here to here. Right? This is your classic. But really, in essence, I do believe it's the void that's compelling. And once the void, and here's another void fill, and then a dead cat bounce here. You could have made money here. This 50-yard line. This is 50 pips. Depending how you size these positions, and I would not buy one contract. I would just buy all the way down, 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 down. Just keep pulling the trigger. Around 75 pips stop to make 150 pips. It's my double your money ticket. So if I'm on my tablet and I see this shit, I'm just be like, or wherever I'm at, I'm just gonna buy. Right? I've already got buy limits that I placed here the day before, but if I see the market tanking like this, I've got more ammo to say, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I mean, wow, okay. And then I'm like, by here, I'm like, we are down how many pips? 50 pips? Oh my God, buy a bunch. And then you have to dump something. Or you don't. Now you've built a position here. Every time it goes down, you're buying. Every time it takes this out, oh my God. Then it takes it out, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And you can tell precisely by the Williams fractal that it turned at that moment. Unless you're blind as a bat. Unless you're so fucking dumb. And this is what they call the smart money. Everybody's, this is ICT guy. How do you dude, I really, like, nobody knows this? That there's like, well, this is really low, 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 low. It just keeps going down and getting lower and lower in this box. And every time it probes the box, I call it box trading. Every time it probes that box, just like this, there's a mini vac up here that every time it stabs it, I'm selling every higher high. Got 4 contracts short now. I'm going against these trend traders. Trend traders are like, oh yeah, look, it's going back up. wrong tool, please. It's going back up. It looks so hopeful. Yeah, it's just another swing trade to here, like it was the day before, but I'll get to that next. And we keep dipping lower, dipping lower. Jesus, well, fuck, you just buy this shit. And buy and dump, buy and dump, buy and dump. But you got to dump something, or you buy and build. You either buy and dump, or you buy and build. You either take a piece of real estate and start putting some houses. This is like Monopoly. You start buying a little bit here. Then it leaves the box, comes back, kind of re-enters. And this is the Wyckoff theory. You try to get across the creek. The creek is this shit, I suppose. Or the creek could be there. This is your classic pattern. This is the 15-minute chart. Now, either you're the guy that wants to go, well, I've got trade plans where I'm just trying to make fucking 10 pips. Well, fucking hey, dude, you just like buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. That's a lot of work. Or are you going to build? I say build a short position. If you're a bear, if you think this isn't a downtrend, because, well, it just went down, you know. But don't, for the love of Pete, don't be a guy that's going to, I guess you could be, because the guy claims he's making $1 million, but I just couldn't do it that way. It's like completely insane what he's doing. It doesn't make sense. It's just not efficient. It's like he should be able to make a ton of money if he just traded 10 tickets. So I trade 300 tickets. He trade 10 tickets. Dude, trade 3 tickets. He's got 1 ticket. I'm like, oh my God. So what he does is he buys here. I'm not shitting. Well, it closed above here. This is my fractal. I'm like, dude, what about this shit? What the fuck? Now this is a 15-minute. And I think that if I just wanted to wipe this guy out in some kind of trading contest with fake money, please. I ain't got time to manage all that shit. But the concept, I could do the playbacks all day long and call out the trades. You ought to be able to call out the next trade. So the next trade, what do you think is going to be here for me? It's coming into Sunday night. Buy limits. Like, how stupid is this? Sell limits. Right? We don't give a fuck what happens. Whatever fucking happens, see? I would definitely pick this fractal, although it's not showing up on this. We'd have to go to the 5-minute chart to reveal the fractals here that I'm seeing. So Williams doesn't see what I see because Williams is not as smart as me. But like this, Williams caught this one, like, wow, genius, right? But if I had my sell limits are in this little cove here, right? So it's kind of subtle, but you got to have your sell limits up in here and be willing to sell into the trend. Sell into the trend. Look how much money. If you were long on every fucking ticket from here, now you got 100 pip stops, so they almost stopped you out of that last ticket. Right? That you got in here with 100 pip stop and they almost took you out. $10 per 1K. 150 pip stop. How do you avoid getting stopped out of a 100 pip stop? Use 150. So $15 to make 5. You made $5. But you know what? You made $5. The next ticket you bought was here with the same target is 50 to here. Buy here with a target to here. Buy here, again, just slightly above or slightly below, but not the same price, with a target to here. A dead cat bounce target. And then, thirdly, put in a ticket rack of clusterfuck or whatever the fuck you want. Some Fibonacci, some Gartley, some up your fucking ante shit. I mean, the people are selling shit out there. Like, oh yeah, if you have these crystals in your drink, you'll fucking be ready for the end of the world. Dude, you're never ready for the end of the world. So just fucking go to the store with your mask on, please, and get that cart full, that electric cart filled up. Go about your business. Keep the economy going. Keep it unsurging along. But we don't want it to grow too fast because we know how volatility becomes a real fucking reckless swing train, you know. But the market is like that, chaotic, and I think that's the disturbing thing is people want it to be calm, and they're like, why is the market all crazy? Dude, I don't know, but if you got a trade plan for it, if you got some way to make money from it, then you're going to be loving the drama. And actually, if you don't like the drama, then you're a guy that's probably making money from like that natural gas guy. You got your options sitting there. You wrote a bunch of calls, you wrote a bunch of puts, and you're hoping the market is really calm and the market goes the wrong way on you. And you're like, oh, I got too many eggs in one basket. Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, that's gonna be. And then now you're gonna have your greedy exit. It's gonna be like you're buying here with a 150 pip stop to make 150 pips break even, right? You get your break evens in here, but if you put in just a whole capture banks in here, you're going to make so much money, right? When I say so much, it's going to be more to have scalps built around swings. So you have the 10 pip targets, you have the 12, the 13, the 14. I mean, if you want to be ridiculous, Which, if you have enough to do, if you're trading 10Ks or trading 2Ks, it would definitely make the target smaller, and every pip. You're taking something off the table every fucking pip. You're not waiting for it to hit even the next pip target. So if you have a cluster around the 50-yard line, that you had the dead cat bouncers even before the target that you're supposing. So if you drop, I don't have any drops like that. I just had to write a double click like that. So a double click that has like a cluster bomb here, and it's just going to buy like unfucking believable amounts, you know. And it's got a hard stop maybe, so you could just do the math easier. And it's like a hard stop with a bunch of fucking entries, right? You double click like just a custom script, and the targets are maybe this is going to cash out here, and then it's going to become like an expansive target. So you buy here. Imagine this is a 10K, or 10 pip range, and maybe this is 50K. So every half pip, every quarter pip, you have a ticket with a unique exit, but a hard stop. All the exits are going to be like, as it merges out of this, we're imagining a scenario where the market plunges into your perfect placement of this perfect clusterfuck, and then it goes flying out. Not only does it fly out, it flies out harder than it went down, or like something splashing back. The cast-off factor, and then you're going to be not a very greedy. Actually, this could be pretty greedy, depending on where you put the master stop. Now, if you put the master stop super deep, and all you're trying to do is capture a scenario, this has nothing to do with moving averages. This is just pure entry and exit strategy, with the ability to pick whether you're going to buy 20, 50 pips deep or 100 pips deep. So you have two scripts you wrote, and you're going to come in like this. It's going to buy here, and maybe you put a fucking outrageous stop down here, because to you that's not a lot of money. And your targets might be just here for kicks. So terrible ratio. Trying to make maybe 75 pips with a 100 pip stop. So you bought here, got a 100 pip stop. Now you put a really greedy ticket in, say down here, just below this entry, because now you're really gonna fucking get in. You're like, oh really? It's gonna be like that, huh? This is how I feel about trading. Now, if it comes back to, like, oh really? It's coming down to this fractal. Now this does matter in the sense that this is the deepest known area that we took out. Although this is certainly critical. All these, now the stop hunt's going to begin, I suppose, clearing this shit out coming in this Sunday night. But I'm getting off track. So this comes down. Now I have another cluster bomb here, but now this has a stop, say here, or maybe a soft stop. Then another place to get in is the 50-yard line. Just nothing special. It's just a place to do better math, because we're going to risk maybe 200 tickets. So our first bank of 40 tickets, or first bank of 40 tickets, and you lay this shit out, and I would put the expiration on these. How about the whole week? Just so you don't have to keep fucking putting this stupid trade plan in. So on Sunday night, this is the trading that people talk about that's more real than, I suppose, a Gartley thing, is how to place orders once a week and make money. Yes, you could do that. But I guarantee you that if the market comes down here and hits these tickets eventually, there's so many trades on the dead cat bounces, and how many dead cats are racked up after all the cluster fucking before it gets to here, if it even gets to here. So if you see the market's zooming up here by the by Wednesday or something, you probably want to move that order up or cancel it out. No reason for having sitting on your platform unless, you know what, you don't care, you don't even look at that account, and one day the thing comes down here and the news comes out, and it ricochets off that and takes off. And that's the scenario we're looking for, because you're laying traps behind the market to try to pick up leftover inventory, so to speak, in the auction theory of life, which is a real thing, but it's not. You're just looking at the data history of the event. So it's kind of the crime scene after. as a crime's about to happen, the cause of the crime happens to be the vacuum, right? So this whole thing is it's whittling down, whittling down, whittling down, making, as they say, lower lows. Look, lower lows and lower highs and lower. I know. Are you willing to buy this region? You're going to buy a whole neighborhood. You're not going to buy one fucking house in the neighborhood, okay? You're not trying to flip one house. You're trying to buy the whole fucking neighborhood, okay? So the scalper's here and this bullshit, and this is a little crack horse here, and then she comes down and blows out the bottom and up. This is actually a 3-week low here. So we look back now. Now that's why this is an intense price, and certainly if you had those tickets laid in there 3 weeks ago, yes, those tickets are still good, but I don't know if you have the patience to wait 3 weeks for this entry down here, because I certainly don't. That's one thing I'll have to say. I don't have no patience for this. So you have to find a hobby. You need a hobby, okay? You can't just stare at the market. You're waiting for this price to occur. If you zoom out, but the magic of time, we'll go to the half-hour chart. Boom. Now, the half-hour chart looks pretty juicy because we just talked about the lows. Like now you can see the entries here. This is my trade strategies to buy new lows. Here's the low Sunday night. I will buy everything below there. So all those trades worked out. Now we go to the 1 hour chart. Yes, I would have bought everything there, but I would have bought more here because why? In my lower low theory of getting in, go against the goobers. This is anti-goober trading. This is the schmott money. Get schmott money trade. You're going to buy so much fucking shit down here, dude. It's going down. I know. Tell me about it. Yeah, I know Bitcoin's going to $1 million and you're going to have a house that's going to go up in value until the interest rates shift on you because the whole thing was propped up on the imbalance from the other imbalance. So the imbalance. Now, if you have a market profile, I recommend that you put all the tickets on every fucking one of those handles. But in the bulge, just put every, like when I first looked at the market profile, I go, which fucking handle do I get in? And now I realize pretty much all of those. Certainly the bigger the bulge, the bigger the fucking position you should be in if it comes back to the bulge, but it doesn't have to do that. But I like my really kind of ugly charting. This closing prices there. I just put a 1 period moving average on top of a bar. I do have some candles back there, but candles to me are a little bit too romantic. I have on my phone. I run candles on the phone because it gives me this kind of clinical view. And when I look at this, I'm able to drop orders on the grid. There's no grid on the fucking phone, so I have a tablet. And I have the computer, the good old desktop, or the laptop, whatever have you. But it's easy to jump into these markets without any fucking other criteria other than to see the voids or the new lows that you, or if the market's going down really fast, just fucking buy it. Now you have to hold that trade for a couple days, a couple hours, but that's a good fucking buy because it's ridiculous. I'm sure people sold into this. This thing went full tilt from one side of the tracks to the other. We took out this low from 3 days ago. This is 1 day from here to here. That's the 1 hour chart. For me, I buy everything here by 1K, 2K, 3K, martingale in, heavy. And then when it goes below here, I'm buying more. Now it's kind of painful because this trade worked out so good, right? Buy like a whore below here. Dump everything here if you want for the scalp. At the market, buy. If you're getting filled on limits here and you still have dry powder, and you should, if you're going to get in the true martingale, which is buy a little bit and the lower it goes, load the fucking wagon, go against the trend. Everybody's wrong. There's too many people on the train. Yeah, I guess you could sell here and then you made this, but I'd rather swing trade it. You buy this, and then it actually goes 50 pips above the floor. This is the floor of the void here. Now, here comes the trend traders. Oh, it's safe to get on the pullbacks. Okay, everything's great. And then kaplunk. Another diabolical scheme, but the same pattern holds. What's the same pattern every time, but the pip range is different. The pattern's always the same. So if people have fixed stops, well, I only risked 20 pips on all my stops because I don't want to risk any money. All right, they're going to take you out. The big boys, so to speak, or the big moves are going to take you out, like all the goobers, the big boys, guys that are in too good a shape, drunken sailors, overweight drunken sailors. My favorite kind. So you're buying here, and you're willing to buy 100 pip windows, so you're good. You didn't get stopped out of this. You bought, and you schemed into it, and you bought the market, and you're like, oh my God, look at this thing. And then just beautiful dead cat bouncer and scalps over. So really, other than the pain, I suppose, if you started buying early, but I don't consider this pain. I consider this the fear of missing out's been satisfied. I don't have any fear of missing out ever because right now I just be buying limits here, right? So this I put 2-hour expirations, 4-hour, 6-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour, all day, 24-hour maybe. But I'm not going to put in tickets here and go, oh yeah, it's going to come back here, and I'm fucking nuts. I'll buy fucking big here for a dead cat bounce. So I will buy these plunges because I'm like, dude, after this, like, people are selling above this going, holy shit, sell, sell, sell. Not only do they make it back to the top, they scalp, they make it deeper. And I'm on the other side buying. So if I didn't sell that, I should be buying it. I really shouldn't have a bias. So that's what I've been able to overcome to some extent with the scripts. And I'm writing double-click sells, which I still should write more of those, but I just kind of, it's just a real bitch to put the plus and minus signs in. So you got to switch to plus and minus when you sell, and then you got to think upside down, and it's just still painful. It's like playing guitar. It's like trying a new scale on guitar. Dude, can I just get something to eat and take a nap? Good God, man, I'm working so hard here. Jesus Christ. But the tablet's forcing me to have tighter trade plans, and I can clear shit off of that easier than the desktop, being anchored to the desktop. So I'm in my car trading with this fucking tablet, and it's easy to put in the 15-minute expirations because by the time I get to where I'm going, I think the market could hit those trades. I wish I would have had that years ago because the New Zealand dollar had some news coming out at 5 p.m. Usually the markets are dead. And I don't even trade New Zealand dollar anymore, but at that time I traded everything thinking, well, I'll just trade everything because I'm so good at this. I'm so good at trading. I've seen every fucking book. I've read every book. I've seen all the candlesticks patterns and the Nielsen, the books and the fucking tapes and the experts and the gurus. So I figured, well, I should know what I'm doing by now. Let's just trade the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, everything, because they gave you 7 pairs to trade, the 7 majors, and I think the euro versus yen in there is my to round it off. So I had 8 quadrants, nice balance. But then I thought, I'm not going to be able to build an algorithm that can snapshot all this shit because it comes down to how big does that market move, and some of these currency pairs have such giant moves that you're in essence getting into a 3K instead of a 1K. So you don't know that. Well, you like making the money on the big. So if you step down to the smaller markets, the euro dollar has the tightest spread. So, and you can trade. It's a very tight market, but it's trading like nano compared to a standard like the British. Like the pound versus the yen is going to be such a giant leap. That's like trading an 8K in the euro, or maybe a 5K. And the market can just keep pounding. And they do. the giant abyss, which, if you know you're going into one, you'd have to change your time frame to adjust to the market conditions. To keep your target and your trade plans based around a 100 pip stop or a 200 pip stop. So my trade plans are all based around how much risk per trade. That's $10 per trade. It's a 100 pip stop. But you can't trade the guppy like that. That thing moves 100 pips, just fucking 120 pips, boom. Like a flash crash or something. Some crazy wick shit. News comes out. But you can make money on the news, so why not trade the news? So the high drama stakes, and the news came out here, and we could see what happened when we take out the low here. This is just before the news. News comes out. News is good. Market comes up. Now it's 9:30. Market comes back. Here comes the fucking stock market. Rips back. Beautiful fucking swing trades over. Boom, get out. Now come back in here. Now just go back to trading like this, I think. Trade like this. So most of the easy trades are these trades, I think, because you could have a 20 pip target, a 10 pip target. Yeah, you're not setting the world on fire. This is, I guess, if you took this as an uptrend. But these things, every time I see this, I'm thinking, God, man, where's my tablet? I'm not in big enough. Like, I put buy limits in here, but I'm like, really? I think I should have loaded up heavier. Well, like the excitement of just buying the plunge, actually. So I cordon off money to buy the plunge because it's just too exciting. Like this stuff here. Bam. Bam. I'm like, oh my God, down again. No kidding. Really? And she did what? She took all your guitars. What, before she divorced you? Yeah. She did that. She took all my guitars. I'm guitarless now. Here's the 4-hour chart. So in the scheme of things, you see how inconsequential all that analysis of moving averages and Gartley patterns, and you see how inconsequential that is based on the trade. You could say, and I'm sure the big boys would all be knowing this one, that yeah, anything below here is the biggest vacuum known to mankind at the time in the recent history of the market. And of course, the most blatantly obvious is going to be this key price, which you tagged and bagged that one already. Then you have to tag and bag, pick off all these fractals coming back. If you're the guy that can wait 3 weeks for that entry, you're the guy that could put a risk to reward ratio in like this to make this. Yes. But you could also do the same thing every fucking tag of the fractal. So you're going against Bill Williams here. The first thing I thought when I saw his thing, I go, well, this is obviously the reversal point. Try to sell up here, try to buy down here. Like, but no, Bill's saying shit like, if it takes out this, you're going to buy here, you're going to buy here, you're going to buy here. Look, you're making money. How's that, Bill? Well, look at it's going up, and he pyramids into it. Now think about this. I can't, but think about it if you can. How stupid people can make money. I just can't believe it. Don Vo, not Don Vo. This guy, you got to see this guy. This forex guy. He's trading like Bill Williams, like a turtle trader. Yeah, fucking getting run over by cars and shit, dude. They're trading around their fucking ass like, yeah, I'm like, it's going down. Okay, thank you, bye. Thank you. Oh, you left it. Okay, thank you, bye. I'm making money all week long. These guys are like, yeah, we bought down here and we're playing like a banjo. We're waiting for the market to go uppity up, 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 up. And we buy into it. Buy a 1K, buy a 2K. I got to understand, Martingale. I'm with you, buddy. Bought again. And then, wah, wah, wah. Meanwhile, I'm just thinking, yeah, I'll take this trade, dude. 4 hours, I'm out. 8 hours, I'm out. I'm out. I'm in. I'm selling. I'm selling. As soon as you climaxes into the new highs, thank you very much. Now this is the idea that you fade the trend. You people on these like, now who's buying down here? Not too many. Not too many people, right? Isn't that the trade you want? Now this is an exquisite example of ratios that would blow your mind. You're just buying new lows, selling new highs, but you're going again. Yeah, because you just keep doing it, man. Think like a politician, okay? You gotta lobby the market. Now, in the daily time frame, what's the trades available to people that can handle a lot of punishment? Well, it's a completely different story, isn't it? Boom. So now we have this just perfect setup. You're looking to buy into the lower lows of that. Zoom in. So it's so dramatic. We'll zoom the max zoom. All you're doing in essence is buy low and sell high. You can't see any Williams fractals here. Now, this is the Williams argument: is you buy buy the break out of that, you buy the break out of that, and you're like, look at what's going up, man, it's going up. But in this, I would just go for new highs, new lows here because it's a daily chart. I'm going to be like, dude, I got a buy limit here, got a buy limit here, got a buy limit here, got a buy limit here. Okay, just bought some. Now I got a buy limit here. And I got to buy limits that are stacked up, right? Stacked up from these are the old lows from days ago. Buy limits, buy limits. These are getting triggered now if I didn't cancel them. So I wouldn't cancel those tickets, see? Now, if these are sell stops, oh, I would definitely cancel them. The trend trader's going to get in, the goober guy. So this is the complete inversion. You couldn't get more opposite than the guy that's making money against, you're making money against him. And we can probably see the trend traders view very easily here, that they say, well, it's going up here in the daily, just to put a goddamn 10 period moving average on there. Meanwhile, I'd be like, dude, I don't care if it's going up or down. I got sell limits above here like you wouldn't fucking believe, right? Every day I've got fucking, and then one day it punches up there and it comes all the way back. And I could be out of that trade, or I could hold on for the whole swing of it. I'll make way fucking more money than any no nonsense. So no nonsense is saying, well, what you're going to do here, son, is, let me explain this to you. First, you wait for your moving averages to cross over. You got rules, son. You got to have rules. And then when they cross over and you got confirmation that you are in an uptrend, like this guy that was saying to me about the Bitcoin, what, you going to wait for the pullback? No. I wouldn't be trading like that for the first place. And then we're going to buy this first pullback. And we buy here. And we buy here. And we buy here. And we build a long position. And okay, we buy here. And then, oh, wait. Did you get on any of those trades? No, I'm in a big position. Well, it just came back real hard. I think you're down about, well, you're only up this much, right? Because you bought so heavy into that fucking bullshit that you're, in this, you're like, oh, fuck. And then I put a stop in here in case isn't that supposed to be your sell entry the other way? Oh, that didn't work out. You get whipsawed. I'm getting whipsawed. Yeah, because you bought into the trend traders. And this also would be, if you had money management, it wouldn't be a problem because you'd be a range trader on an angle. That's all you are if you're a trend trader. You're just a range trader on an angle. So if you buy this, yes, that's great. I love it. You came back, but get the fuck out, man. Buy it again. Get the fuck out. Buy it again. Get the fuck out. So you got to get the fuck out. Another big mistake. Could you just say to people, well, I have my own fractal. I call it the fuck fractal or the simpleton fractal. Just put a buy limit here. And don't even cancel it. It's good till canceled. You get around to it. And maybe don't put one here. Right. As soon as it makes a lower low, don't put any. That's I forgot to tell you that. It's very simple. Simpleton limit order entry technique. Of course, this is going to be dependent on how many tickets you put in there. I'm going to put more than one ticket in, by the way. And I'm going to cancel replace. I'll actually increase the size of the ticket. I forgot to mention that. So if I put a buy limit here, it's going to be 1K. This will be a 2K. This will be 3K, 4K. As soon as it gets filled here, we don't put a buy limit in. If we don't want to oversize the position. But aren't you missing out? Yeah, you're missing out. So since these are still alive, we're hitting these. And these aren't as big as these. These are the 2Ks we left behind. I mean 3K. So this is a 5K getting filled. Do not put a ticket in here if you're afraid. If you're angry like me, buy this again. Oh my God, it took this. It took out this fractal, the simple fractal. Buy more. Then we get confirmation. As we leave the station, we have confirmation. We're holding these tickets. These are 100 pip stops, by the way. $10 a ticket. So I can tell you the math right here. It's very easy. This ticket never gets filled. You're risking $10 per ticket. This is a 2K fill. You never got stopped out. You're still holding that ticket, and the ratio could be grandiose. It could be this. Okay? But if you can scalp your 50 pips, which is from here to here, you're doing pretty good. 50 to 100 pips. With a 100 pip stop, your ratios are 50, make 100, make 150, make 200. Make 250, make 300 pips. You bought into a 100 pip window on limits. You waited until here to get out. I could not do what you do. That does make way more fucking money than putting a buy stop here and telling me, well, look, it's going up, but I got confirmation it made higher highs. Are you fucking nuts? I used to watch these guys' videos and I just thought, how does anybody tolerate this shit? It's making high. Duh, really? It's bullish. It's going up. Duh, really? You got a trade plan for that shit? Dude, I'd be buying all this shit. Buy. Fuck that fractal. I'm buying new lows. Actually, and these tickets are still here, but they don't fill until here. Now, I would definitely cancel replace that, but that is... Now, people are short right now. Heavy hitters, sell here, sell here, sell, all fucking next week. That's a daily chart. My trade recommendation is always going to be sell high, buy low. When does it happen? Trailing sell limits, cancel replace. I've got a 1K, I got a 2K, I got a 3K, 4K, 5K. 5K sell limit. 6K. Yikes. These are still pending. I did not cancel replace these limits. They're all stacked up. We went short. Yikes. And this is a big ticket. And it's going to get bigger because if I didn't cancel replace these, oh boy, we're selling more again. Well, actually, you're anti-martingaling back in. Because if you left this as a 2K, a 4K, a 3K, a 2K, a 1K, you finally feel that 1K. And if you have a ticket here, which you should, sell limit, and this is coming back in real time. Of course, this is... First, we got to get through this shit and take our profits. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I guess I'm looking at this going, holy shit, if Erica's up here, sell everything out. No shit. But if you're going to just walking back through the higher highs here, taking out these, and you're going to fill in this little void, and you are anti-martingale. Now you're very tremendously short, maybe 26K, whatever. And it comes back to here. If you don't get out on something which is the first ticket has finally become break even. And I don't know, I guess, so we opened here, we closed down, but we were here before, or maybe we didn't come back there, but we did eventually. If you had wide enough stops, you could have cashed out here, and actually it became profitable eventually. But this wick here would have been the ultimate sell window. And once again, you're going to sell your sell limits start to restack here. You have a 1K and a 2K. If you follow just the goober rules that I laid out, sell limits above the highs, and it's definitely above this fractal, this real simple fractal, this little hump there, a little bump. You got orders up here. It's always selling new highs. Here, this is actually a grandiose one because it took out this, and it comes flying back. Beautiful, high profitable trade there. If you don't cash out, once again they come and wick you out. But you could be a seller up here like crazy, and you got to be flexible enough. I wouldn't take any trend view here. I'm just going to buy here. So once again, the 1K, the 2K, the 3K, the 4K. And we fill on this one. And if you don't think you got in big enough, of course, they finally fill you on this ticket, but they don't fill that one. Definitely be buying for me. Every day it closes down, I'm a buyer. So if it closes below here, like that guy's selling below there, every time it closes below there, I'd be buying. So buy that, close below, and buy this heavy smash down day. In the meantime, getting filled on my limits. So a dual type approach. So order type is very important because people that get in on stops and get in on limits are two different people. People that get in on stops to me are people that are confirmationists. They want confirmation that everything's going to be okay. Well, it's not. But if you want a clean rule, and it does save people, I'll give you that. I mean, insurance does save people, but in the end, you're just going to die. So deal with that. Sure, you're going to have some fun. You're going to see a movie, eat some popcorn, but in the end, it's going to be a fucking terrible mess. You know, if you don't kill yourself slowly, fastly, or somebody doesn't kill you for some unknown reason, or they fucking can't stand you anymore. I'm sick and tired. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're going to stand for it no more. So they take you out. Boom, you're gone. So the market seems to stop us out like that. Boom, just kind of, you took a fucking hit. You were up 10 grand, now you're fucking up 5 grand. Up 10 grand, now you're only up 5 grand. But you know what? Every time you go through this cycle, now you start to realize, okay, I see what's going on here. That course I bought with the moving average crossover system seems to be kind of laggy. I seem to be missing out on these grandiose, fucking beautiful trades here. I sell, and this fucking, maybe the news. I'm sure the news came out here. Holy shit. And then people are like, well, that's just a pullback. You just buy here. Yeah, I know. And then they just keep stop hunting you. So here, once again, we have a 1K, a 2K, a 3K. We get filled in the 4K. We don't put a new order in because we made a new low. But maybe we're buying at the market because it is below, say, this floor. Anything down, I'm buying. Buy the pullback, buy the pullback. If you just took that approach, you'd be better off. Okay, moving average crossed over, but dude, buy the fucking pullback. Buy this, buy this, buy this, buy 1K, 2K, 3K on close, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Don't tell me you're buying this fucking breakout. Even this fucking breakout, please. Okay, this is how you could trade like a recovering goober. Okay, now this is going to work actually. This is my other approach if you really are a confirmationist. It's going to save you some sweat. Put a 1K buy stop, a 2K buy stop, a 3K. Cancel replace though. Always cancel replace on this one, I believe. Even though these are all good entries eventually, right? If you leave these buy stops trailing behind forever, good till canceled. Cancel replace, just let them decay every day. 24 expiration on your ticket. Buy stop, buy stop. Oh, look at, we got filled, honey. Look at, we went long the market. It does work. His system worked real good. Some guy just made 50 pips down here, and now you're getting in? Yeah. Well, I heard that the Bitcoin's going to go up to $1 million. Honey, we bought it. Honey, comes home like fucking Ralph Cramden, all proud. I bought $50,000 of fucking Bitcoin. Honey, check this out. To the moon, Alice. Come on, this is going to the moon. Like, yo, what take you out? So the buy stop goober stacks up. He gets into a 5K eventually. Now a 6K, and he's off to the races. He could take his 100 pips off the table here, and he probably should because he's late. At some point, he has to realize, I guess since I'm paying for the confirmation, I got to get something off the table here. Otherwise, we're coming all the way back to my fucking starting gate. Or I did a trailing sell stop to protect my position, so I only made this much money. When I guess if I could realize that they're carving out this price, But let's just assume that the guy that trades confirmation doesn't think about how the radical side is the reason why there is confirmation. Right? There's no good without evil, so there's no buyer without a seller, and that's just how it is. The rhythm of the market is up and down here at an angle. And once it gets into this doldrums up here, only people that are looking for 50 pips a day can make money. It's just painfully fucking obvious. The grid's exposing what it costs to trade this pattern in this market in this time. Now, this is a doji, a giant doji on the weeklies. This is because of daily chart. 1 week doji, 1 week doji. Well, it looks very interesting. So we know this whole thing, it looks like we're going to eventually go higher, but it looks like we could come back. It's obvious what's going on here. So I say I'm going to sell next week. I'm going to work at my sell tickets because I think there can be high drama, possibly to the upside. Once you take out let's go to the weekly chart. Let's get a fucking bird's eye view. This is the top down, but this is down top because I started off on the small time frame. And the weekly view is the reason why when people look at the analysis of the market on the weekly charts, it looks very grandiose and very lovely. I mean, just beautifully easy. And dramatic, high drama. Like if you're the guy that can step in front of here, if hopefully there's somebody out there that did it. I run 1,000 pip stops. I trade the month. I trade the weekly with 1,000. Yeah, I can understand that. Now that's the same price as trading, like I said, the guppy with a 1K. You're gonna need a stop like that. And this is crazy stuff. This is 200, 300, 400, 500. 1,000 pip stop. You need to survive that and not sweat it. And eventually it came back and you made 100 pips on that trade, risking this much. And that's how I trade. You don't have to trade like this. And people are like, how can you buy lower like that? Dude, I don't know. I love it. I'm like, give me a market. Is it raining outside? No, it's sunny. You say yes, I say no. Being a contrarian's easy as fuck. If everybody agrees, you tell them fuck off, okay? Well, in your head, you don't have to tell them. You're like, dude, come on. I've been there, done that. We're not doing that again. So and then the martingale thing is also an in-your-face, a double fuck you. It's a double down, which people, you can't just double. Oh, yeah? Leave those rules for you. You do you. When I see it take this out, I'm like, dude. Oh my God. We're in the bottom of the bottom. How many people are short? I guess I should go look at the and I don't. The commitment to trader thing, I gotta go look at that. Because really that is if you fade that, right, you're going against the commitment of traders or whatever. But it really depends how long you're waiting for that to resolve for you to be right against the crowd, or you to be wrong against the crowd, or the trend does. The trend is there. I'm not saying there's no trend, but to be a trend trader means that you're basing your entry and exit decisions upon just one piece of analysis there. Yeah, the trend, obviously the trend's up here, but is it time to get on or off? And where do I get on and off the goddamn trend? Sure, but if I counter trend traded, which means I mistakenly guessed the trend wrong, but it's time frame dependent. So if on the 1 minute chart it's in an uptrend, yes. On the 15 minute, maybe it's in a downtrend on the 15, but you're trading the retracements on the 2 minute chart back into the structures on the half-hour chart. But that's so how do you make money doing that? Is that you'd have to have it'd be a lot of work to trade the 1 minute chart, I guess, in a sense. But if you only trade it during news events, no, it's not so bad, right? You come in, you got your fucking charts up, the news is coming, and you jump on these trains, and you just like, wow, look at that. Or you just sit back and fucking waiting for 2 months to get filled. I could imagine that's probably happening. It's for people. I've met people that can they can hold a position for 6 months. I can never do it. 6 hours to me is enough because the market keeps oscillating. It's fucking ridiculous. It's 80% ranging. It's completely bullshit. There's no fucking Well, the trend only exists in looking back. What's next? How to make money tomorrow, how to make back anything you've lost or anything you want to gain. So you're just starting out, you never lost. And you're trying to how to fit into your lifestyle is going to be the most keyful thing in the world, because that's going to determine whether or not you can even pull it off and get in there and do it. So I think the 4-hour chart to me is a civilized view of the world. To make 50 to 100 pips lately, of course, if you zoom out, you can see how, okay, here's a downtrend. Let me not zoom out too much. That might be too insane. Let me just turn off these fractals. So I got a love-hate relationship with a fractal. I'm sure everybody does. Or any kind of analysis can be too much at some time. So I just like to go for the most cleanest view of the world, which is going to be, just give me the prices. Just the facts, please. Get rid of Bill, because I'm not now. Now my eyes drawn to the closing prices. The template, I just don't ever actually use the fractal. Just pointing it out because people that are trying to get their brain around the market. So in my view, it's about it's about the vacuum left by just the pure wick. I don't put any kind of now here's a candlestick, a little shadow of a candlestick there. I don't care about opening prices either, so the candle to me it's okay for the dojis, because if it opens whereas it closes is, I can see a down bar with the line. You know, the line's telling me, yeah, that fucker's down. It also gives me the double bottom. All right, so I see the double bottom, I'm like, yeah, I like this trade. I load up, I'm drifting back to the first target, and these are the next targets. Doesn't quite hit that if you're looking for it to come back to that. And then, what's the next trade plan? Well, if you didn't sell into this, which you should have sold into that, I didn't. I decided to buy into this. It looked easier for me to just say, I'll just buy this shit. I'll buy this. Load up, really load up. The news is about to come out, and boom, that trade's over. And what's the next trade? This is a key place to sell. I'm going to sell tons up there. I'm going to buy tons down there. So 50 pips away. And what is the rate of change to get there? Let's estimate the rate of change in advance. So let's expect a move, maybe drift down. Okay. These orders got to last X to capture this box. And they'll further out in the future, the longer the expiration, we're going to try to curve fit it in advance by getting our tickets in to this box. Many tickets with different exits. Some are not going to make a mint. They're just going to pay the rent for the whole trade plan. Same thing with the sell box here. Scalps built in. And we have our trigger on the tablet, or our trigger on the mouse. And we're able to pull the trigger as need be if we wake up in the middle of the night or we're driving in our car, and we can just sell. Sell. Buy. It's kind of the exciting part about trading, is being a contrarian. I just can't resist. It's like when they had this andemic came out, they had that andemic they engineered. What, Plan 42? Plan 98? But some of this stuff just happens, See, I take a complete opposite view of that one too, is that there are no conspiracies. There's just nature. The setup is the vacuum. If there's a loophole, something's going in it, right? If there's some way to, nature finds a way. Like, so why are the weeds coming through the cracks in the sidewalk, right where the cracks are? That's crazy. Well, it's a path of least resistance theory of the universe. I think that's really what's going on there. So if it's easier to just kick back and watch a movie, most people can do it. Why are people like stunningly out of shape? Like, just go to the grocery store. Why are you here eating? And then it's like, shouldn't you just stop? It's the people that, I don't know, people starting to, they got too much cushion. Maybe it's too much cushion. Sleep on a bed of nails. It's supposed to take a cold shower. So if you're into punishment, a market's perfect environment. But you got to be able to, you got to be loving the yin and yang, up and down of the market. So uh, the big deal is to fit your lifestyle to what you think. If you're gonna go to sleep for 4 hours or 8 hours, well, on the 1 hour chart, what's that going to be? What's your trade setup look like on the 1 hour chart? How to make money based on how often you want to go back and look at the chart, because you want to take advantage of these at the market trades. 20% at the market, 8% limits, because if the limit theory is true that the market's ranging, unless you're sitting there watching a Netflix and you got your tablet next to you and you want to pull the trigger because it gets down again, yeah, it's down again, and just go, oh really, it's going down lower, yeah, tell me all about it. That's a buy. A buy signal to me is the market is down. A sell signal is the market is up. It's very simple trade plan. The sizing and the frequency of trading is going to be the only thing that's going to really make you money, because you'd have to, or save you from losing too much. And all these unique trade plans, and just got to keep writing new stuff. I guess you reach a point where, okay, I got 50 trade plans that are unique. I'm pretty good. You got to have a library of shit in your head, pretty much, I'd say, to trade it. Because if you do go with this Gartley pattern shit, you're just going to be utterly disappointed. I suppose if you put the goober money management systems behind it, you are going to be a profitable trader. There's no fucking doubt about it. But you're not going to be setting the world on fire, and you're not going to be able to take a little bit of money and make it to a lot. You'll need a lot of money to make a little bit of money every month. So if you have a $10,000 account and you're making $1,000 a month, to me, it's okay. But Jesus Christ, dude, I'm sure you could make $2,000 a month, right? Come on. Or you trade. Don't even trade every month. Just wait and risk $3,000 after 3 months. So you risk $1,000 a month to make $1,000 a month. Well, honey, a 100 pip stop, and you're trading on the big daily swings. Yeah, but every time when the market heats up, it starts to melt down into some fucking cavern of shit, and it goes so low. People are like, "What the fuck is at the end of the world?" The guys that are on the train driving up or down, in the bigger picture, on the monthlies. Yeah, and it kind of like, they're like, dude, it's pulled back for 15 minutes, we'll sell. Or they got sell limits trailing on the half-hour charts, and they're like, yeah, this fucking system's cashing out. Oh my God, it's actually I'd say a limit entry trend system, because it's going to be tight trailing limits in a fast market. All these things would have to be, it's like landing on a planet where all of a sudden, the weather just changed by 300 degrees. You got anything for that? No. Okay, you're out of the market. You're just out. You cannot fucking survive a screeching market. This one guy that's asking, well, how do I see that you can't? No, you can, but you'd have to know the environment. You just can't step in front of the market and buy every new low. If you're I suppose you could if you have a tight stop, tight-ish, right? Because you're only going to keep losing every 4 hours. Oh, I lost $2, and then you're going to make money. Okay, you're going to make your $4 back eventually, and maybe this is the other rule that people use. I can lose 90 times and make. I could double my money losing 80 times because I'm getting stopped on my tight stops. And when the market finally goes my way, my ratios are so good, it's going to make it back. Yeah. In a sense, it's true, but what's the cost of getting into each trade? And what is the time spent worrying about it? And if you're going to canvass a whole zone and buy the neighborhood, as opposed to buy one house in the neighborhood and go or buy 3 homes in the neighborhood, go, I'm renting out 2 and I got the other. All right. That's a lifestyle. That's a consideration in your brain. How much, do you have something else you need to do in your life? And if you have that many oars in the water of all these different lakes, and this, I see people do that. The guy, he was doing that. He's, I'm going to go in the real estate market. Look, I can trade and everything. I guess. But then what happens when you buy a piece of real estate and it turns out you're on top of I don't know, it's a haunted piece of real estate. It's got real ghosts in there. I don't know if they really exist. I'm waiting for the ghosts to show up in this house. They just have mice. There's just mice in the house. And this kind of drama here, this is the forward chart on the euro dollar coming out news event. Pretty crazy. Jobs report had some drama, and then FOMC just a barely. The minutes from the FOMC was just barely a blip. It's like nothing to it. So I try to stay on just the euro dollar here because there's so much. This is the monthly. And if I zoom out here, it's just amazing. I mean, these markets are just mind-boggling. And honestly, I just don't think you could put a 21 EMA on the monthly and say, well, I'm going to go this direction. Really? So you tell me you're waiting for... Yeah, we're waiting. Jimmy Bob's got to eat dinner soon, but I think we have another 3 months before we get into this trade. Oh, Gartley's sitting up sweet on the weeklies. You should see it. Who's trading like this? Who are these people? Please, I mean, I don't know. I haven't had the patience for nothing. Even my next thought, I'm like, really? You had that take that long? Are we there yet? Look at this giant sweeping vacuum trade, though. This does stand out as the epic stop hunt for the guy that went long back here because he said, yeah, it's an uptrend. Didn't you hear? Didn't you read the newspaper? Yeah, everybody's buying the euro. Went long here. Shit, my moving average crosser. I mean, we've been long ever since, dude. What do you do for protect your position? Well, you put in sell stops. Yeah, one here, it got taken out, but somebody must have bought that, made a bunch of money. Then we had one here. We had a stop back here. Nobody would ever touch that stop. And then, well, we actually put a stop in here because we figure if it takes this out, it's going to go lower. And if it closes below there, then it's obviously bearish. So we're going to go, oh, really? That's crazy. I just bought that whole plunge there. So some guy's like, yeah, this is really at old price. And this is actually this old. It's like a 20-year low. If it ever goes below here, please call me, Hal. Call in. Holy shit, look at this trade. Now that's once in a year that happens. If you're going to trade that trade, you started selling the 2-year highs here. Sell, and then you laughed all the way to the bank when you got to your break evens and let the profits ride out. But there was a guy on the other side of the trade going, you know what? Tell me when it comes below here. Tell me when it takes that out because I'm buying more than you've ever... And you waited 2 years to get into that trade, and then you got out. Beautiful. Wow. Now that's the trade I want. Sell above here. Let it go full auction. Come all the way. Buy below here. Waited 2 years to get in that trade. God damn it. We held that for 2 fucking years. That's the trade I'm talking about. Now that may be, it's all the trend traders got in there too. Now, it's a pullback for them. Like, yeah, but the signal for me was the structure break. It broke structure. Well, get the fuck in, idiot. I think these guys talking about it broke structure here. Go, I got it. It broke structure here, so you're gonna sell. And what the fuck is that, dude? That is insanity. I'm thinking it broke structure here, fucking buy, and all the buy limits here. Finally paid off with your 1,000 pip stop. You made it to break even, but when you bought all this shit up with your 1,000 pip stop, you made 1,000 pips. If you martingaled into that, obviously if it took out this structure and this structure, you're going to buy like a pig. And when it come down here, and you waited fucking 8 years for this thing to get down to here, I don't think it's going to do anything magical now. I think it's just going to dick around like it normally does. But the trading is just, the year has closed out on the monthly chart in a logical situation where we came back to the floor we took out at the beginning of the year. Everybody's mind came unwrapped there. You took out the low from 2 years ago, and this thing is going back 20 years. Total beatdown, not back to the beginning of the year prices, but back to this floor and beyond. If you could have stepped in front of that and bought this all the way down, buy. And I'm sure by this time, people are saying sell. And the trend traders, if you're jumping on the 4-hour chart, you're making money short, right? There's not even a chance to get in a trailing sell limit. It does not happen. The buy stop guys, the confirmation people, made money on this one. But they didn't make back the money they lost here with their buy stop trapped. Sell limit guys are making money. Buy stop guys are fucked. Buy stops never lose money here. They get trapped. Cancel replays. Buy stop. This is a buy stop guy making a lot of money. He waited a long time for this trade. I'm sure he back tested it. But if you just sample this period, this strategy is fucking amazing. Not here, because you keep getting trapped, but here, never a higher high. Until here, cancel replays, big tickets, zoom. Sure, you never made the 300 pips here, buying into new lows. Now, by the same token, I'm going to do this trade because I want to make more trades than this guy. This guy only gets filled a couple times. He gets filled here, he gets filled here. It's not enough frequency for me. I got buy limits here. Big buy limits there, all the way down, and I make 300 pips. Then I start buying here. I buy a lot here. At some point inside of here, I think you're going to make 300 pips. 300 pip bounce. These are the biggest tickets in the world. They're going to make 300 pips. Then you got a jumbo rack here. You would probably make, oh gosh, if you could survive this move, make it back to here, and you're up 300 if that's your original entry. But you got to be aware of that, because this beat down, as you take out this on the monthlies, these are juicy. You made a lot of money there. Another carve out, a tremendous 600 pip winner. Another giant 200 pips, giant counter trend. This is the trend. Now the sell guy, the guys that are trend traders are going to have to trade with tight stops and good ratios. And I'd say get in on the sell limits coming down off. Is it going down? You think it's in a downtrend, which obviously it's drifting down. I wouldn't say it's a. Like I said, I can make more money for myself buying here and dumping. And if you're gonna put sell limits above here, sell limits and cancel replays, make a bigger sell limit. Sell limits, 2 fills. Sell limits, good ratios, sell limits, good ratios, but it's not enough trading for me, because I'd rather be selling this pocket and buying this pocket, sell that pocket, buy, sell, buy. I'm going to trade twice as much by range trading it. Here are the sell limits trailing. 2 fills there. If you keep selling new highs. No fills there though. And not any fills to go long on the buy stop. The sell stop, turtle traders are making money. Depending on their money management, they put in sell stop, cancel replays, sell stop. They get trapped here. Sell stop, they make money. Sell stop. If they left these sell stops behind, amazingly, at this point in time in the chart, this becomes a genius trade on the monthly chart. For God's sakes, think about this. I'm just talking in structures, because I know there's nobody, maybe there is, that has a sell stop here pending and waits fucking this long to get filled, and then they get, I guess, right? He's like, yeah, I sold out. He turtle traded it. He sold every new low. I got it. It worked out here. I still can't do it. I couldn't do it. I don't care if it makes money. I can't do it. I can't. Because it just doesn't. I can't. It's a monthly chart. Let's be realistic. So, sure, you could be selling new lows like a tour. I got you. Could be this guy. Sell stop, sell stop, sell stop. I presuppose you can handle these fucking pullbacks after you get filled at your shit price. You want to be selling, right, as it's going up in the downtrend. Right? It's called a pullback or a pull up. There's a triple top on the monthly. Who couldn't see that coming, right? But if you're selling new highs, you're loving that. If you're buying new lows, you're loving this. This whole thing to me is so. This is the range. This is the trend. Once again, the trend, the range, mostly range. A beautiful triangle. Breaks out to the downside, but you get your head ripped off if you don't take profits. If you went short, you're like, yeah, we'll take whichever way it goes. We got buy stops, sell stops, the hedge concept. Well, just try it. It's quieter, it gets more Sadoji out. Just take both positions. Yeah, that robot's going to work, or that scheme's going to work this one time. Just can't you live your life off of that? He's watching this Ryan Brown guy. He's like, oh, yeah, look at that trading. Yeah, I know. It worked for 3 days. It's not that the market won't stand for it. The market's it's too chaotic to fucking even. It's like snowflakes. Everyone's different. Every fucking moment is unique, and every next moment is going to be more uniquer. This doesn't, and the market's calmed down. People are going to be like, oh, this is like they're going to go on to something else when the volatility dries up. So some people jump in. The public gets excited about markets that are moving in one direction really hard. And it becomes a news item, and that's pretty much when the bubble bursts or whatever. And then people come in, and the arbitrage, all the range traders, or all the exchangers, the people that don't want to own it, they just want to trade it. They're not investors. But think about the people that invested in Bitcoin. Well, my Bitcoin portfolio is not so good right now, but I'm up on the dollar. I'm up on the euro. My gold trade's working out. Gold did go up. I really didn't want it to go up. Like I said, I don't like gold. I don't get why people buy gold, to be honest with you. You can't play. It's not like you're buying a guitar, you know. Just buy a guitar. You buy a bar of gold. Anybody bought a bar of gold, I just tell them they can't be in my band. No, unless they're really good. Certain guys I let in. I guess you could be out of your mind. That's how they get away with it, I suppose. They let anybody play in the band. He collects gold bars and not guitars? Oh, jeez. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to handle that. How's the dollar index doing? I thought the dollar's going to hell. I got that digital currency coming. God, the stuff. Where's our bill when you need it? I thought the world was coming to an end. What happened? I thought the Martians landed already. When's UFO data going to come out? That aliens killed Kennedy. When's that coming out? Does anyone remember the band called the Dead Kennedys? Now, this is really inappropriate names. So here's the deep box. That thing's totally dipped out. The next trade plan is going to be obviously go to the 4-hour chart. And I like the 4-hour lifestyle. I mean, Sunday night, come in with a big buy limit pack, and when the market heats up, I put my orders deeper, and so I have a sell limit pack up here and a buy limit pack down there. That's as simple as that. Some guy asked me about the Australian-New Zealand dollar situation, and let me just say that would have been a buy. I let the robot run that for me on this platform. I have the stupid swing trade bot. I have the symmetrical. It buys and sells without regard to any kind of other input. It doesn't even know about, actually it's creating an envelope trade around the market, up and down. So if it goes up, it's kind of hitting a envelope, so to speak, because it's just orders that have an expiration of X, and they're so much deep in the market all the time, every day. Very static bot. It doesn't make money unless you manage the money it's trying to make, because it doesn't know when to get out. It knows how to get in, it doesn't know how to get out. It has predefined targets and it has predefined stops, but it has no kind of clue of, like, when that moves over, I would take all profits. I'm going to try doing that. But you have to babysit the robot. So the robot's getting you in, you have to just determine how you're going to get out. So I let the thing, I unleashed it on the Australia versus New Zealand. And it's not making a bunch of money. It was up a little bit. I think I had the same robot running on the guppy, but that's why robots will always fail. They always suck. Oh, I don't have it on this one here. I got it on this my other one here. To go to the bot. So I think I had $2,000 in here, but I let the robot trade the Australia versus New Zealand. Here's the history. It went short. It's a symmetrical trade. It just keeps on placing these new tickets out there. And I haven't always had the computer on. That's another thing. So actually, the robot was a genius down here because it just kept on buying and buying and buying without regard to anything below that structure I marked out. Uh-oh. Crashed the computer. And that was a good trade. So it's just a convenience, you know. I wouldn't just run this one robot either. And I think this one has a expiration. I think every 15 minutes is dropping tickets will last for like 30 minutes. It doesn't get too many trades on. Here, let me see how many. No, it's dropping every 15 minutes. So it's a high frequency bot. Every 50 minutes, it's dropping all these goddamn tickets. And I don't even know what the targets are. I'm not gonna look at it right now. But it is. If I had the fucking, if I had my, so it's down 70 pips here on something. Oh, it's a 4K. All right, so that's why. Um, so this is the only trade it's up on is like it's up like a few cents here, but taking it off the table is making money, and it adds up to whatever, and also it's freeing up some margin and it's letting you trade new bad trades. To me, this is the only way to trade, in a sense, is to have um, the limit entry is the ultimate because the market has to come to your criteria, match your criteria, and stop entry also. But here, I can blanket more tickets in and get more fills. Whereas a stop, are you really going to buy if it goes higher and higher and higher on stops? I guess, but how you want to chase the market? So that's what I would never want to do. So I just plant myself stubbornly in one place and let things come to me because I know better. It's all about me. But you can't deny if you're like, they have these, this person's a narcissist, this person's selfish. I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, who's not? Are you fucking kidding me? Have you seen the world lately? So at the point the guy was asking me, I think in the video, this is weeks ago, and I never really got back to it. And, I did a bunch of videos since, but I never published them because I'm just too tired. I'm just tired. This is the giant blue streak, and he's like, what do you think about the Australia versus New Zealand? And I'm going to delete these objects here, so clear off the history of the robot in the interest of analysis. So I go to my trusty delete all objects script. I hope I put enough of these. I never put enough in there to be able to grab it. I should have one every fucking tree here. Okay, here it is. So we'll clear that off and go to the and sure, the trend traders are making money on the way down here, but at a certain point it becomes like it's over. You can't keep selling into that. Let's get some perspective here. So this is a month on the dotted lines. Vertical dotted lines is 1 month. Yeah, let's mark it off here. So yeah, the sells, sure. I said, and this indicator, this is a 3-period moving average, a histogram. You sell here, it's blue. You sell every rally in the blue. Sell, but here you have to take a little punishment. Sell, sell, sell. Selling at the market, every close higher, sell. Into the blue. Here it's like a little whipsaw. You buy here. Oh, it didn't work out. Sell again. But at some point you got to get out, right? Especially if you're going to pyramid in, which is what Williams is doing. Is sell. He'd probably be getting in like so. The goober's getting in here. Sell, stop, sell, stop. The turtle traders are making money. And in a giant trend and a big trend, everybody makes money. And this goes for 2 months down, 3-month beat down. How do you get into this trade? From a swing trader's standpoint, you're going to go underwater. You're going to have to build a position and then dump. I think the dump is good because now you got to switch gears. So if you can swing trade, trend trade, and range trade, then you can make money on from different strategies, different entry techniques. It's not to say you can't make money, but you can't make as much as if you trade all 3 techniques, all 3 strategies. Stop, market, and limit. And the stop means that you're probably going to, you could have all 3 tickets running at the same time. The criteria for the market order to me is always going to be at the end of the hour, at the end of the 5 minutes, at the end of the day. Does this look like a buy or a sell? I pull the trigger on something. So the reason why that's any lifestyle could handle that once a day. So I put the spectrum at once a month, once a week, once a day. When do you look at your chart? If it's down, if you're going to be a trend trader, you're going to be strict. And you have 3-period moving average, which is I have here. Rules are pretty simple. And at some point, that system's going to die because the trend is over, and your trend systems aren't going to work. So the limit systems are working, and they're not always going to work. So if you stop entry, the confirmation that the even the exquisite pullback, the 618 entry, right? So you have a 30-year money is donated to Gartley Patterns, let's say. 30-year money is donated to a random entry, canvassing a zone. And the third category is, what time is it? Are we going to buy bullish candles? Maybe you're going to go with the fucking trend every day. With the right money management, that system does make money. But you got to know when you're chasing it at some point. You have to, on some level, think, if everybody's like bearish, you're like, well, yeah, really? Everybody wants to take this thing in their arm and live forever? I'm hoping I get hit by a train. and I don't even live near a train station. I might have to live. I'm hoping for lightning. And yeah, being alive is a responsibility. It's a lot of work, and so managing an account is, so the reason why it's hard to trade, I suppose, is because the money that you're risking and making is not the normal fluctuation you would get in a normal, consistent income. So people say, how can I be a consistently good trader? Consistently, I suppose, executing, but not consistent income is never going to happen unless you have a threshold on your targets. But when you see an opportunity that's like, holy shit, look at this fucking market. When are these people going to figure out this thing is not going to hell so fast? Are you going to get in during the blue? Or are you going to get in on the confirmation? So I suppose the confirmation limit entry is going to be buy this close into the cloud, sell the close into the blue, buy the close into the bull. Buy the close into the bull here doesn't make too good. Here, buy. This is a fuck up, right? You bought it's trending. I bought here, bull back. Oh, did you really? You got to switch and start selling again. You have strict rules for the daily. Not daily. The daily. Here's a sell, but guess what? That's like the last sell, and then it's like, oh, did you sell here? This is a pullback. This could be a 6.8. Uh-oh. The tide's turning. The guy that was asking me the question about what do you think about that is like, well, what do you think? Do you think you could handle a 2-month beatdown where you martingale in here and make this most fucking monumental amount of money you've ever fucking made in 1 month? Because you didn't make, well, I guess you made it here. If you sold a tippy top here, this move is this is not as big a move as this, I suppose. If you sold if you put a sell stop here, I guess you made the same amount of money on that price move. If you never got out for 2 months, yes, you definitely made the more money. But the swing traders made money on the other direction on that by taking this trade. They said, oh, yeah, we know about that higher high shit. So we sold into that. And we love that trade, too. That was fantastic. I don't have a price grid on here, but that's a lot of money up there. You can imagine. And they sold and they sold and they sold, and all the goobers were telling them, I can't believe you're selling the market up there. I mean, it's going up. What the fuck's wrong with you? We just bought here and pulled back. We're buying more here. What the fuck are you talking about? Jimmy and Bob and I bought here, we bought here, we bought here. Fucking loving this market, loving that trade system we bought. It's called trend system. Trend's your friend, dude. Did you hear that? And then, meanwhile, Mr. Smart Money's got his settlement stacked up in here in some devious scheme to go against the goober. Ruh-roh. All of a sudden, this ticket's break even. Now it's making money. Now it's making money. And if your targets are 2-to-1 ratios, you sell. I don't know how big a stop you need. Probably 1,000. Imagine a 2,000 pip stop. So $200 a trade. and you sell, 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 and it comes all the way back to here, and you get out, you're going to tell, dude, I mean, obviously, don't you want that trade? You sold for 1 month and you held for 3. Yeah, you could sell here and tell me all about, man, dude. The guy that sold there, the scalp, he sold here and he sold, so that's me. Buy, 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 buy. Buy. Don't make money here buying. Actually, just a break even. Now, obviously, the next trade is, since I don't trade these giant schemes, because we're on the daily chart. I buy limits here coming in, sell limits here. Same story, different day. Some get tagged, some get bagged. If it goes screaming up at the end of the day after 3 days, I'm probably selling. If it goes down, I'm buying. Buy low, sell high. Is it that hard? It is, because people want like one ticket. Get 1 or 2 tickets in there. I don't want to manage all those tickets. You don't have to manage all those tickets. People said me, they saw my video. What's with all the tickets? What's not with all the tickets? Are you nuts? This is going to need a lot of tickets, okay? To spread the risk, to diffuse the impact on the financial situation of my trading account. Incremental destruction. It's death of 1,000 cuts, because I'm catching a falling knife with 500 fingers. Sure, I'll lose a few fingers, but in the end, I'm going to strangle the market. That's all there is to it. And it's just waiting for the traps to be filled. Sunday night is always kind of fun, because it's like we kind of see, well, where are we going here? And then we have our weekly highs and lows. There's nothing called the weekly bias. Now, the one thing ICT does, it's just so retarded that I just can't even believe he's able to get away with this bullshit. What is your bias for the weekly bias? What do you mean bias? You mean this fucking bullshit 3-period moving average I have? Okay, I got you. But what's next? You need to do better than that, man. And the one video that I made fun of him, the one he wanted to kill me, his underlings wanted to kill me, is that he had in there the most dumb shit. He was playing back the market. He missed so many fucking entries. I go, dude, if you really think buying new lows and new highs is the way to get in, you're missing all these fractal entries. You're missing all the, I'm just saying fractal for the sense of the obvious new high, new low identified where you get the fuck in. No, I have to keep everything secret and then drag it out, get mentorships, and oh my fucking Lord, stop. It's just so ridiculous, but people love it. And it's just no excuse for torturing people with that kind of stuff without giving any kind of practical advice. You know, finding these 1 minute charts saying, you see the gap here? I'm like, what the fuck? You picking fly shit out of pepper. Yeah, just we get in a big ticket here and ride it. And that's my trade. I picked the very high and the very low. Well, so did I. I picked every new low in a range. But this guy's not even getting in half the trades. It's just in that one ticket, really. It's just incredible. The whole idea that there's an inner circle is so ridiculous. There's no inner circle, dude. There's you, and you're gonna die. Okay? There's just you. When they say everywhere you go, there you are. It's just you. It's nothing magical. You decide to play in the market. Now, it's like it could be a meditation. It could just be some excitement. It could be you're bored. It could be you're trying to enter a trading contest and show people just how talented you are. I suppose everybody that wants to do that is a narcissist or whatever they call it. You know, so cute. You know, projection all over again there. But there's definitely no secret to it. Sure, if you're going to take a class and you're that kind of person that can follow a rule book, I think everybody has to design their own rule book, but I guess if you're the guy that's like content with, there's this rule book and I bought it and I'm using it, and there are people out there like that and they're able to make money because they just don't think past making 10% or whatever they're trying to make 20% a year. Or the people that say, you know what, I'm going to take a deep dive here. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go against everybody. And you say Bitcoin's going to $1 million. I say it's not. And if everybody agrees, it's just common. I suppose this is why the market's moving. Good news makes it go up. Bad news makes it go down. I think the pullback here, obviously jobs are coming back. It doesn't matter really. The thing is too embedded. And who was ever in 4 years ago, don't forget, they didn't tear everything out. They deregulated so much road construction. I see people fucking, I think guys are just leaving, the barrel guys, how much do they make a barrel guys? Guys put the barrels out there. I'm like, dude, I'm going to start hitting these barrels pretty soon. But they need virtual barrels, I think, with like an alarm that goes off if you cross over that area, and then they send you a ticket. Oh, look at $10,000 fine you. We took out a barrel. It was digital barrel, holographic barrels. That's what they need. I think the government can invest in. Fuck how much the grid's going to go down. Oh, I put some electronic barrels out there, please. Holographic barrels. The bulletin boards. I mean, how is this legal? I see this. Hopefully, there's no hot chicks. They used to have the copper tone girl on there, but how is this? What happened to the Doublemint twins? Billboard. Too many car crashes. That's a trading is easy. Living your life is the difficult part. Anyways, that's all I got. That's my view of the market, my view of the world. I'm a contrarian. That's why I'm sticking to it. I'm too stubborn to change. I'll never be a good trend trader. I just know it. I don't have the patience. Well, the long-term trends, I should say. I'll never be an investor. I think invest in tangible objects like maybe a robot, maybe my laptop and my computers and my guitars. But this idea of having a 401k, I just laugh my ass off. Well, what are you going to do when you retire? I'm not. I'm just going to do what I do. I'll just keep living. I guess you could retire, so kick your feet up, but you got to do something after that. You have some hobby or something, right? I mean, you got something to chew on. The markets are certainly the most, you never know what you're going to get situation. So it's too intriguing, and it's too much fun. And never gets old because it's always something different coming at you. Waiting for Bitcoin to go up. So I'm holding the Bitcoin in my mind. Do think it's a grandiose opportunity on the monthly, the Bitcoin. Everything, all the drama's gone. No more Bitcoin news, and it's fragile. Of course, all vacuums. It could keep tanking, but I'm definitely buying all the way down in Bitcoin. Now we get a dead cat bounce out of that trade. If you scalped out, you did pretty good there. Buying down here at new lows and dumping into the floor. That trade's over. The guy was asking me about confirmation of the entry of that. I wouldn't even bother. The confirmation of me is making new lows. So go long, and then when it gets up here, dump into the floor. Or just dump along the way. Don't get trapped up in this trend trading shit where you buy. And like, well, oops, that's not so good. I suppose you're buying now. The weekly looks good. Weekly traders wait for weekly setups. That's the rule, but I mean, I'm just too impatient. I don't think I can wait for weekly setups. Here's the weekly Bitcoin. So you're buying it on the floor right now. Definitely another confirmation to get in, actually. All the time it's below this price, I'm loading the wagon. This is a classic. When it gets above here, I'm a seller. I'm cashing out. When it gets to here, dump everything. When it gets here, dump everything you ever bought below here. Just like all markets. Bitcoin's no different. Bitcoin's just like a penny stock that people are really into. There's a lot of interest in this new market. It's just a market. Right? It just happens to be the instrument is like this ridiculous idea that, well, the value is in the privacy of currency storage. Anonymous ledger-based storage of currency. And there's no dividends. There's no nothing. You're dependent on the crowd pushing it up and down if you're a trader because you buy and sell if you're a trader. If you're an investor, you're buying now. Because it's a logical choice. It's undeniable. We've seen these patterns before. And this is a classic. It could go lower, but actually the volatility is so dry right now that you could be running tight stops and probably not risk too much. If we can emerge, so if this is the bottom for the year, I guess if you sold here and you can handle this going against you, you are up X. So from year to that, from the beginning of this year to here was not that big of a gain if you held the whole thing. I had this marked off because I brought up the news. I was curious to see what the news was, certain dates. I was looking for a date. And I want to see what's the news here on Bitcoin and what's the news here on Bitcoin. It's really funny when you do a back search into the Google and you quarter off the days there. You got to read the articles here. You laugh your ass off. And when Bitcoin's here, read the news here. So if you're into fundamentals and how you would fade, the consensus, the general consensus here is, it's going to $1 million. I just never forget Max Kaiser on Tim Pool bragging about Bitcoin. And I said in the comments something like, call me when it's at 10 grand. Well, it did make it to 10 grand. But when Max Kaiser was on there, I think we were like here. Yeah, Bitcoin's place to be. Yep, it's just doing real good there. Yeah, Bitcoin, as long as it was in this range, Then baby took out the floor. The scalpers had their fun. And now it's just been very depressing for Bitcoin. Below the master floor. Emerging on the weeklies, trying to get above here, trying to come up, smacking in here. And there's going to be range traders, make money. Can we ever make it? If we ever take out this and engulf and take out the high of that, please call me. It will take 5 years to fucking even, and there'll be sellers up here. This is never going to $1 million. It's not even going to 100,000. This will become a dead market in a range of $10,000 for the next 3 years. Please mark me down for that. You will live in a box, right? You'll live in a box and you'll own nothing. So you live in a box from here, maybe from 10 grand to 30 grand for the next 8 years, 5 years. I don't know if YouTube will be around in 5 years. I don't know. But this is very possible because it's about volatility and what's possible, structurally speaking, from a volatility basis. I wouldn't have said that back here. When the market crashed in here, it got very quiet. That'd be the pullback trade. Or the non-directional hedging breakout trade. That was a good strategy. The triangle trade. All that shit. Pull back and come back to the top, become a bottom. Kind of overshade that top, become a bottom thing. So that not all strategies work. But this one, nice move. Back to this floor it took out, but it had come back here before it could punch above. And when it punches above, man, we punch below that wick. Good thing. But now the volatility. Okay, so we go down through the floor here. Take this out. Wow, it's just a complete. But this, we don't have a yearly chart, but this thing's getting carved out. After this dead cat bounce, the volatility is dried up for 6 months of low volatility. So after low volatility, like this, in a world where this is kind of low volatility comparative to this move, crazy, very low volatility, big burst, a classic. This is a classic thing. And then when we get to here, it's like, sorry guys, double top. We've been ranging for the whole year. On paper, you're in a range trade. I get that there is this move, but then ranging. I don't even include this in the range. This whole box. Then we fall through the floor. Everybody's heads explode because the news is so bad and they're using crypto for this and they got everything going on in there. It's like human trafficking of Bitcoin. They found Bitcoin in these people's clothing and come across the border. It's, oh my God. Bitcoin just kind of meanders like this for the next 3 years. No problem. Easy. I could easily see that. The way to help envision that on MetaTrader is to zoom way out, take the trusty time tool, and take it all the way as far as you can. And we're going to imagine Bitcoin for the next 2 years. This is 1 year from now. This is approximately 2 years from now. Bitcoin won't let me see the future. Now, what do you think the scenario for Bitcoin could possibly be here? Comes back to here. Big buyers above this top become a bottom theory. Come back to apex of the triangle. Who's not buying Bitcoin at 10 grand? Or 11 grand? Or 13? Or 14? Or 15? Who's not selling what they buy below here, above here, whatever this price is? 25,000. So maybe the box is from here into time. And from here, I'm going to give this thing a 20,000 pip range of complete bullshit. And maybe it's not going away. I don't think, maybe it does go away. You ever seen a penny stock where it does this, it dries up, and it just like barely trades? And this is also another scenario that's completely possible. I don't hold back any scenario. As a multi-positional, multi-strategy trader, a balanced diet. How about it just dicks around like this, and people are like, oh my God. Don't forget, these days, wait, look at this. This is just complete. I don't have the whole data set here. I'm not totally zoomed out. Something's wrong. Okay, remember these days. I don't know if you do remember these days. I certainly wasn't charting Bitcoin here. But look at this stuff. Comes down here, very quiet, and then falls out of bed. It's a nice double bottom on the weekly there. We kind of fallen out of bed already. I got too zoomed out there. Okay. You got to get this framed properly to get the whole picture. Got to get perspective on this. It's about context, son. I'm telling you about context and fractals. No, but this is crazy. Look how quiet it is here. People are, whoa. So this year, this is only looking back to 3 years ago. Like, woohoo. Damn, son, it's going on. Big crush. Big vac fill. Then, whoa. Then there's a vacuum. What happens if ever gets above 15,000? Just like gold, people just like, holy shit, this is like when gold takes out 800, 900. Holy shit, son, it's almost $2,000 an ounce on gold. And then, oh my God, Jesus Christ, volatility's in the news. People are swinging from the trees, whipsaw to death. But compared to this, the only reason you're going to get back to this shit is if you get down here and just dicks around. Then you go, woo. Even it does this. If you got a trade plan for psycho swings down here, and maybe it does end up. I just can't understand why anybody want to own it. I mean, it's intrinsically worthless. It's a speculation on speculation. Is what it really is. It's a speculation that freedom and privacy is worth more than institutional interest-bearing convenience. If you have a real bank account, okay, so now I'm just going to go off on a rant about the psychology of freedom and money. So people sign up for these things, and they say, "Well, I got a rebate." So I had this one rebate. I guess I waited too late to mail it in. I thought I just nicked it by a day. I never heard back from them. Oh, you know what? They kind of got me on that rebate because if I got this discount up front, they're going to give me money back. So that's all in the background too. And all these ships that people jump into, or the idea of a coupon from the store idea. I never thought the coupons were that great because these are things I didn't want to buy in the first place. I guess I could buy that brand, but I don't like that brand. But that has a coupon, and so am I going against my principle of buying nice stuff that I don't like to buy shitty stuff just because it has a coupon? And in the end, it's like, oh, what's the matter? So we're just gonna have to. In the idea of inflation, I think that's another one I just can't understand. It's like, well, people are making a bunch of money, prices go up because people are doing so well they can afford more shit. Yeah. So, but then there is the fear of inflation causes inflation because it doesn't matter, and I hate to say it, but it doesn't matter if there was $1 zillion deficit. You're still going to go out tonight and eat dinner. You're still going to rent that hooker. Oh, maybe she needs a $20 tip now instead of a $10 tip, but who does it care? Like I say, you're just living your life. Nobody cares. They say they care. But both sides are utopianists. There's utopian values that nobody should ever die and nobody should ever be injured. And then there's a utopian view that everybody should have free stuff. And so they're both utopianists. It's just that one of them gets there by kind of secrecy, and the other one gets there by just saying it right out loud that we think things should be like this. Openly stating, both sides openly stating what they think it should be, but the culmination of how it is going to be. The market certainly is the one thing that equalizes its reality brought to finally reality kicks in. The fantasy, the projection of how it should be, but how it is. And I suppose everybody has a romantic side of, yeah, well, if only this or that. And of course that's the hope, and that's why people are eternally hopeful. Hope springs eternal, and they keep on, maybe this will work. Yeah, that'll work. Of course, it's the optimism keep you alive. Otherwise, you just bail on the whole thing. But you can be in the middle. You don't have to be totally bullish or totally bearish. But I think people have an on and off switch in the market. Oh, are you long or short? Well, I'm slightly long. What are you, fucking transsexual? Yeah, I guess. I'm 30% bearish this week. 32. I'm not sure. It fluctuated this morning when the market went screaming up. But I'm ready to jump on that train. And if I had the scheme to do it, if I had the trade plan in my pocket and I can whip it out and go bing, 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 because I don't have enough, I guess, I do think that when the structure is getting broken and I'm getting filled on limits, I'll probably manage some of the profits on that if I'm not getting out. Now I have to re-rack the tickets. Now this becomes a thing about making money from getting out of some of the trades. So I'm not an investor, but in a swing trade I kind of am an investor, at least for 1 day or 2 days max. 2 days max of down, 3 days max of down, 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 buy, buy, buy. Then it comes back. As it starts to come off the floor, I probably buy at the market on pullbacks if I'm not in big enough, and then just dump the whole thing. And then just start over the whole thing again and wait for another kind of weather to come along, another kind of storm. So it's very rarely that you get a big storm. It's very rarely that outrageous things happen. So it's probably over for Bitcoin to be outrageous. And people like that too. And they wrote an amazing song and this and that, and then they just kind of become, okay, people that have fans and stuff, and they do stuff, but nothing like that first wave 3 where you fall in love and everybody's happy. And you don't know what's going to happen yet. But wave 4 is the consolidation of life. And maybe at the end of your life, near the end of your life, you have a brilliant or a profitable situation happen. Because after all that consolidation and thinking and contemplation, oh, this is going to be a great move. This last move I do is going to be great. And that's the sad thing about life, is that it has to come to an end. So it does have to come to an end. I mean, I was saying, life cycle of a stock. I have one book that said life cycle of a stock, and I thought, oh, isn't that sad? I mean, the stock's going to die one day. Or it's going to just drift into obscurity, like Bed Bath & Beyond. I walked in Bed Bath & Beyond. It was a store down the street here years ago, and I thought, this is kind of dazzling. It's like Disneyland for stuff you have in your house. And the lighting and the structure, the way the building was set up, these black ceilings that were 25 feet high, I thought it'd be a great place to do a drum sample. But it was like, wow, this is like some kind of circus, and these panels and everything's abstract and contemporary, and here's this. And the lighting is like fucking halogen lighting. I think I lost some of my retina in Bed Bath & Beyond years ago. Can't sue them now, they're broke. But I thought, where are the people coming to shop here? It's almost like Bitcoin, where you build this dazzling price thing, and then people are like, why am I here? I can buy this shit online? And it's overpriced, and it's mismarked, and crazy. I almost bought a black light in there. I had a black light in Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm maybe go get it on sale now. Yeah, Beyond, the Beyond part, it did go Beyond. I think that's where they fucked up. It should just kept it at Bed and Bath, because Beyond, they went too far. They overextended themselves. And then another one went out of business. The party time. Well, nobody's got time to party now. They're like, you know what? We're going to consolidate. You fucking blew up our brains with the fucking 2008 Dodd-Frank fucks. You blew our brains with the fucking real estate crash. Okay, now you blow our brains with the fucking... you have a selection instead of an election. Then you have... People don't care anymore. Then you have a endemic. Then you have a anal-demic. People are still fucking gearing up like, what are you, a fucking military now? Get a camo mask. Just go there, dude. I mean, the chicks got the glitter mask down here matching their heels and their neck collars, so just go there. Save us the phoniness. Oh my God. You see that fucking bitch that runs New York, the governor? What a phony fuck. She's standing by. People is just like spouting fucking catchphrases from some cliche book. Anyways, now I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting an appetite. I gotta get an appetite. I gotta get angry. So, I mean, the Bitcoin can keep, on this monthly chart, keep still melting down and dripping down here, but it does look like the volatility's dried up. As gold punches north into my sell box, just like I thought it would. It's going up, and I hate gold, and it's going up. So I'm glad for I got a buddy that's in gold, so I'm happy for him. Yeah, let's hope gold is the hero. This is fundamentally intrinsic. It's good if you can make a guitar out of it. If you can make a guitar sound better with gold, then I guess I could justify you being in the band. Otherwise, you're out. You're fucking. You don't know what you're doing. You got 20 years left, and you can't. You didn't even fucking. You could have been playing a Fendero, but now look at you. Now look at you. Got a fucking gold bar. Yeah, gold's the only answer. You know, looks like crude oil's going through the floor, and thank God. Looking at $2.50 a gallon coming up on the monthlies. That's how I see it. We got the nice scalp on the weeklies. Hey, gas was at fucking cheap right here. But it was a trap. But now, it looks like it's about to roll over again and go, bye-bye. Come on, that monthly. Look at that weekly. The weekly looks like it's hell-bent. Hell-bent on a dippity-doo. Even the monthly looks like, ruh-roh. How about crude oil at, let's just say, the 50% retracement, goddamn, on closing prices? I'd say volatility's gone. For this whole year is going to be low volatility year. Crude oil's coming down in here. It's going to dick around. Bitcoin's going to dick around. Everything's going to dick around. It's going to be dick around dick because there's nothing left, dude. NASDAQ's going to dick around, consolidate, and eventually it's going to go back up. It'll never take out the highs from the last 10 years. Never. Mark me down for that. What you're going to see now is for the next 10 to 20 years is consolidation in every market, and the only market that's going to prosper is real estate. If you look at the 70s, real estate, Tom Vu is coming back. Mark me down for that one too. These are my predictions. The new Tom Vu. New and improved Tom Vu. How about Tom Yu? Some narcissistic fuck. Sweating to the forex. Sweating to the oldies. All this and all that. So it's gonna be something else. The future is bright, people. Pull the gun away from your temple. Everything's gonna be just fine. It's never been better, right? Never been better.